Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryan, your host, and I'm welcoming you to my review of the Peacemaker for 1997. The DVD says 1998. Now, before I go on this review, there are a couple facts I want to mention. Number one, this was a launch movie for DreamWorks, so this was the very first movie that launched DreamWorks Pictures, which is run by three men: Jeffrey Katzenberg, Steven Spielberg, and David Geffen, an ex-Disney employee, a filmmaker, and David Geffen, the guy who created Geffen Records. So I want to kind of give that out before I go on the review. So what did I think of this? What did I think of the launch movie for a great studio like DreamWorks? This was really fun. I wasn't sure at first that this was going to be bad, but actually at first I thought, oh, this is going to go into the whole political side of another country. I'll get to that in a bit. But this is more of an espionage thriller. So yeah, let's talk about Peacemaker. Sorry for the glare, guys. So let me go ahead and read the plot right here. When a train carries automatic warheads, mysteriously crashes in a former Soviet Union, U.S. nuclear specialist Dr. Julia Kelly discovers that the accident is really part of a diabolical plot to cover up the threat of the weapons. In a race against time, crack Special Force Colonel Thomas DeVoe, I hope I'm pronounced that right, and Dr. Kelly teams up, putting aside their personal differences as they track the last remaining warhead to the step of the United Nations in this taunted apocalyptic thriller from director Mimi Leonard. I covered a movie called Deep Impact, which was also made by DreamWorks, directed by Mimi Leonard. But her most well-known film is 2000's Pay It Forward. She's done a bunch of other stuff before. She started out as a television director before she became a big movie director. And she would go on to direct the biopic for Focus Features Productions, The Basis of Sex, the story of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I don't have that movie, but I hope someday to find a copy and check that one out. But anyways, back to Peacemaker. So right at the beginning, there's another... I forget what country it is. I'll have to pull up the production notes and see what country it is. Just says Soviet Union. I don't really know. Let me kind of read into this a little bit. We'll get into the production stuff later in the video. But it's some other country. So they're having these battles with fights with these other countries. So now craziness happens. A big mushroom cloud explodes. Burns a couple down. Then we cut to what appears to be, you see it's like all blue, but turns out a splash of water, and we see someone lap swimming. Turns out to be Dr. Julia Kelly, which is Enter Nicole Kidman's character, who plays Dr. Kelly. So she's all of a sudden doing some lap swimming. A general comes up and says, "You gotta come with me, ma'am. It's very important." And she's like, "What do I do?" So she's out there doing some lap swimming, and now she has to get dressed. Well, she has to get dressed, and now she goes and helps them out. So the guy criticized says, "Nice hair." So now we go into George Clooney, who plays the colonel, and his side is he wants to go to these countries to figure out what these warheads are. It has a very espionage thriller. If you like those sort of like espionage stories, I don't want to compare this to Manchurian Candidate, because that movie was that's apples and oranges compared to this, but it's such a fun movie. I'll get into the production notes in a bit. So one thing I like about this movie, at first I thought, oh, this is just going to be another political thriller. This is just going to go into politics, and they're going to go into that. And then they do mention weapons of mass destruction. Keep in mind, this is before the presidency of George W. Bush that they would use that, become a common word. But I think the performance worked really well. I think Clooney's great. This would also be the time this would also be a year before he's in the movie called Three Kings, which also dealt with a lot of the military and army and that kind of thing. So yeah, and also there is an interesting fact. These two stars would appear in two Batman movies for director Joel Schumacher. Nicole Kidman for Batman Forever in 1995, and George Clooney for considered one of the worst Batman movies ever. Batman and Robin, Bat Credit Card. I just want to bring up Bat Credit Card. So, anyways, I kind of want to bring that up. So, yeah. I think this also came out, he was working on, because Batman and Robin came out in 97, this movie was 1997. I thought it came out in 1998, but I was wrong. Anyways, back to Peacemaker. I think really what makes it is its characters, and I think it's a fun movie. Also, I'll read the production notes right here. So, Mimi Lederer, and yeah, she starred as a television director. And then it says here, also said, I'll kind of read into the production notes a little. Excuse me, I'm getting kind of tongue-tied. Also setting the Peacemaker apart was the choice of a woman to direct the film, making her feature film directorial debut. Deep Impact would be the next movie she would make, and that'd also be in DreamWorks. And Mimi Lederer became one of only a handful of women directors bringing to the action arena. She comes into the attention of producers for her award-winning work on the series ER, which also had George Clooney. And yeah, here's what Lederer said here. I hope that I'm not only referencing to as an action director, but simply as a director. End quote. I didn't approach this as an action movie, but instead as a dramatic human story. It does impact the vast, large scope, but at the core, it is one man's personal tragedy which drove into action. End quote. Yeah, I would say that pretty much, and I think Lederer's a good director. I did like Deep Impact, which was really good. I thought that was a fun watch. But I will say this for the most part, yeah. So the movie was filmed in '96, and it was filmed in New York City, and it said here it was filmed at the JFK airport, and it was a 19-day shoot. They actually filmed this in, I can't pronounce that name, but it's Slovakia Republic. It was actually filmed in Slovakian. It was filmed in Russia, which it was filmed in lots of places. There are 3 locations, New York and I believe Russia. So it has that very uniqueness. And yeah, trying to think. Here's what she also said right here. I want people to come away from this film entertaining, but also jolted into reality. There are issues that only government and all governments have to deal with. It's a big world out there, and it's viable. So, really, when you put it down to that, this is a fun movie. I like Peacemaker. I'm not going to say this is a great movie. It's slow, but once it builds up, the action scenes are incredible. Though I will say the ending is kind of dumb. I wish we had a much stronger ending. It's kind of more of a downer. So, one of the endings, this isn't the actual real ending, but this is later on. So, as I mentioned before, Julia Kelly is lap swimming. So we see that soldier right there, and we see him there. Well, a general, I should say. Then now, near the end of the movie, we get another general, but turns out to be Clooney. So at the end of it, she's saying, "I have 10 more to go." Also, one thing I want to mention, how the ending kind of did bother me. Okay, so I'm not gonna tell what the ending is, So the one scene where the guy, they kill his buddy. That's not the ending of the movie. So they kill his buddy, and then he freaks out and he goes trigger happy. So he's like trying to, and they make it smart by sliding under there. I kind of want to bring that up, and it's kind of strange, but I do like how the locations and settings and all that. I don't think I have much to say about this movie that I will say. I think Kidman and Clooney are just incredible. I can pronounce the other cast member in this movie. I'm not even going to try to spell. Something Stahl. So I think he played the one main bad guy. I think he was also in Deep Impact, which is also Mimi Letter, as I mentioned before. So I think that's about it. And yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. Is there any flaws? Well, I said about the ending kind of was a little bit weak. The ending was a bit weak. And I thought the first half could have picked up the pace. I liked the characters. I liked the idea of like this espionage thriller. I like where Letter's directing kind of like sort of path. Is it a human story? Is it a thriller? Is it an espionage film? Is it a political film? I think it's more of an espionage film. But that is probably going to be it, guys. So at the end of the day, Peacemaker is just fun. I think these two characters, I think with the performance of Clooney and Kidman, I think Kidman's incredible. Nicole Kidman is an actress I've always liked. She was great in The Hours from 2002. She's incredible in that. I think she's good in this, maybe too good, but it's more of a pick your poison. Like, if you like these two actors, then yeah, give this one a watch. I heard about this movie way back in the day. I didn't even know this was DreamWorks Pictures' launch movie. I could have sworn like Ants was their launch movie, but no, it's Peacemaker. This was their launch movie, and I wanted to see a good start to a great studio like DreamWorks. And I would have not known about this had it didn't have the DreamWorks logo on the front right there. I don't know if you can see that in the video. Sorry for the glare, guys. Like, when I do that, the glare is like right there. So like I said again, if you like if you like espionage movies, if you like thrillers, if you even like action movies, if you like George Clooney, Nicole Kidman, then yeah. But if you don't like any of that, you might want to take a pass on this. But I loved it. Definitely check this movie out. I can tell you right now, it's not going to be my 10 best, because it's overswaying on what I'm going to give this, but it's still good. It'll probably go in the honorable mentions good. We'll see. We'll see when that happens. So yeah, Peacemaker is a definite recommendation. I can easily recommend Peacemaker. If you want a fun action thriller, check out Peacemaker. So let's go ahead and rate this right now. I'm going to go ahead and give The Peacemaker a 4 out of 5. It's because it's because of its ending is kind of pretty weak. The ending was very weak, and I just like how it could have easily ended like that, but I'm kind of glad they added one additional scene in the movie where it shows Kidman lap swimming and meeting up with Clooney and him saying, I can wait. That kind of fixed it, because if it just ended like that, I'd probably give it a lower score than that. So, and that's why I'm personally going to give it, I figured, sure, 4 out of 5, why not? So, yeah, check out Peacemaker. It's definitely something I would easily recommend. It's not for everyone. I think, personally, for me, I liked it, and it's good enough as a keeper, I will say. Again, I wasn't sure if this is going to be any good. Though, it says it's theatrical trailers, but on the DVD it says teaser trailer, but no, it's a TV spot, guys. So, we get a trailer and TV spot. I did watch, I think the one special feature I watched was cut from the cutting room floor is the only featurette I watch on there. It's more or less a blooper reel, but sort of a making of. But it's an oven special featurette. Though Gene Shalit said, white knuckle tense with plenty of smarts. Yeah. So, yeah, definitely give this one a watch. So, yeah, that's my review of The Peacemaker. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the content on the channel, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get the video notifications so you don't miss a single video on the channel, guys. I'm also on Letterboxd, guys, so you can check out all the stuff. I rate the movies before I review them, and just a ton of great content on the channel. In addition to Universal videos, we have DreamWorks videos, and also Vlog City videos, collection updates. Like I said, in addition to the Universal reviews, I have DreamWorks reviews, and I have a playlist for all the DreamWorks movies I have reviewed on the channel, so if you want to go check them out, you can check that whole playlist on the channel. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell and ring the bell to get the video notifications so you don't miss a single review in my channel or any video or any content in the channel. So yeah, Peacemaker, definitely worth checking out and definitely worth watching, in my opinion, and it's a good espionage thriller from start to finish. So that's it, guys, and as always, keep watching those Universal movies.